Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः कर्मयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच जायसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत् किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव। व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम् न कर्मणामनारम्भा नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठत्य कर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्। So, where did we stop yesterday? Did we do the third verse as well?
Third, we have not completed fully.
Okay, so we'll do the third verse, right?
Yeah.
श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघा ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्. Shri Bhagavan, the Lord Vacha said, Anagha, O sinless one, Asmin, in this loke world, Dvividha, twofold, Nishtha, committed lifestyles, Pura, in the beginning, Maya, by me, Prokta, was told, Jnana Yogena, in the form of the pursuit of knowledge, Sankhyanam, for the renunciates, Karma Yogena, in the form of the pursuit of action, Yoginam, for those who pursue activity. Sri Bhagavan said, O sinless one, the twofold committed lifestyle in this world was told by me in the beginning, the pursuit of knowledge for the renunciates and the pursuit of action for those who pursue activity. Krishna was not talking here as Mr. Krishna, who was born on a given day at a given time, but as Ishvara, the Lord. Throughout the Gita, Krishna talked as the Lord, except in one or two places where he said to Arjuna, You are my friend. In fact, anyone who understands the nature of Ishvara can talk as an avatara, as Ishvara incarnate, just as Vyasa had Krishna do in the Mahabharata. In fact, anyone who understands the nature of Ishvara can talk as an avatara, as Ishvara incarnate, just as Vyasa had Krishna do in the Mahabharata. In the fourth chapter of the Gita, Krishna himself talked about what an avatara is, as we shall see later. Here in this verse, Krishna said that in the Veda, the twofold Nishtha was expounded by him. Nishtha means a committed lifestyle. For example, a person who is committed to the practice of japa, chanting the Lord's name, is called Japanishtha. And when performing austerities, tapas, as the emphasis in one's life, the person is called a taponishtha. One for whom the pursuit of Brahman is the nishtha is called Brahmanishta and Jnananishta. One whose commitment is to knowledge. In this verse, Krishna said that one of the nishtas or lifestyles he revealed to the world in the beginning is for the Sankhyas, the sannyasis, and is in the form of Jnana Yoga, meaning that knowledge is the means. Knowledge is the means for the Jnana Yogi, who is a sannyasi, because he has no karma to do other than the pursuit of knowledge in order to gain moksha. The other nishtha, karma yoga, he revealed to the world in the beginning is for everyone else, karma yogis. Krishna then revealed the twofold nishtha to Arjuna. The word Sankhya means knowledge and is also used in the Gita by Lord Krishna to mean sannyasa, the life of renunciation. Those who are committed to knowledge are called Sankhyas, and the knowledge that is unfolded so clearly by all the Upanishads, the subject matter referred to as Vedanta, is called Sankhya. There is a footnote. Samyak khyayate sa vaidiki samyak buddhihi sankhya. Taya prakashyattvena sambandhi tattvam sankhyam. Tad vishaya buddhihi sankhya buddhihi. Sa sankhya buddhihi esham jnaninam uchita bhavati te sankhyaha. So, samyak khyayate sa vaidiki. Vaidiki Samyak buddhihi sankhya. Taya prakashyatvena sambandhi tattvam sankhyam. Tad vishaya buddhihi sankhya buddhihi. Sa sankhya buddhihi esham jnaninam uchita bhavati te sankhyaha. So those who are committed to the life, to the knowledge are called Sankhyas. And the knowledge that is unfolded so clearly by all the Upanishads, the subject matter referred to as Vedanta is called Sankhya. The only topic that Vedanta deals with is Atma is Brahman. Therefore, Sankhya means Brahman. And what is unfolded by the Vedas, by the Vedanta, is called Sankyam Brahma. Because the knowledge of Brahman is called Sankhya, and those who pursue that knowledge are also called Sankhyas, we find in the Gita that the word is also used as a synonym for sannyasa, the lifestyle of renunciation in which knowledge alone is pursued. Because Arjuna wanted Shreyas, moksha, Krishna told him about this twofold nishtha. Moksha is clearly the end in view, and the nishtha is a means to this end. The nishtha is twofold because there are two different groups of people. One group is called karma yogis or just yogis and includes everyone who does not live a life of renunciation. For these people, there is karma yoga, whereas for the sannyasi, there is jnana yoga. These two styles are in accordance with the four stages of life found in the Vedic culture. The first stage is called Brahmacharya Ashrama, wherein the person lives a studious life with learning as the main focus. The Brahmacharya Ashrama prepares one for the next ashrama, the Grahastha Ashrama or marriage. In Chandogya Upanishad, we read that Shvetaketu spent 12 years in the Gurukula, which he joined when he was 12 years old. So the first 24 years of one's life is the first stage of the Brahmacharya Ashrama. The second stage of life, Grahastha Ashrama, where being a householder and raising a family is the primary focus, prepares one for the third stage called Vanaprastha. In this stage, a person remains married, but husband and wife live as friends rather than as a married couple. The person continues to perform the various rituals enjoined by the Veda for householders, but withdraws from worldly activities and lives a contented life. The Vanaprastha prepares one for the fourth and final stage of life, sannyasa, a life of renunciation. Sannyasa is the best retirement plan there is because you do not require money for it. You simply renounce whatever you have. So, there are two lifestyles. One is sannyasa, and all the others that are not sannyasis are, for them, there is karma yoga, the lifestyle, right? So the two lifestyles are in accordance with the four stages of life found in the Vedic culture, which are Brahmacharya Ashrama, the four ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So the first stage is dedicated to living a life which is studious, with learning as the main focus. And then this prepares one for the second stage, which is marriage, grahasthashram. And then comes the vanaprasthashram. So after having lived and raising a family as the primary focus, householder and raising a family as the primary focus is that of a grahastha. Then the third stage, vanaprastha, although they remain married, they remain as friends, live a contented life, and they withdraw from worldly activities. And this prepares one for the fourth and final stage, which is sannyasa, where you just simply renounce whatever you have. Renunciation is possible at any stage. Arjuna, who was in Grahastha wanted to renounce. He did not want to go through the intermediary stage as a vanaprastha. Just give me a second. So renunciation is possible at any stage. Arjuna, who was in the Grahastha wanted to renounce. He did not want to go through the intermediary stage as a vanaprastha. To remain as he was meant that he would have to remain a grahastha for a length of time and then take permission from his wife to move on to the vanaprastha, none of which would be easy. Nor was it necessary to do so, for the day a person wants to get out of any of the three ashramas, it can be done. When one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day, one can take sannyasa. There is a Vedic sanction for it. The sannyasa ashrama is a stage in life where one is absolved from performing all karma. One is freed from all duties in order to pursue knowledge. This pursuit is all that is to be done. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani or want nothing but knowledge. Let me know if you want me to read anything and go further. Types of sannyasa. So basically, there are 4 ashramas, and each one prepares one for the next ashrama. So that's the natural progression. But in any of the other 3 ashramas, one can renounce. One can take to sannyasa. provided one is ready. So it is that readiness that is important.
Okay,
That
was the Vedic sanction there? That sentence was there, no?
Yeah, there is a Vedic sanction for it. That means you can skip any of the other ashramas. From brahmacharya, you can directly go to sannyasa, which is what Shankaracharya did. He skipped grahastha and vanaprastha. So, provided you are ready, when one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day one can take sannyasa. There is a Vedic sanction for it. The Veda allows it. It is It is a given in the Veda and one can skip, provided one is ready. The sannyas ashrama is a stage where one is absolved from performing all karma. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani or want nothing but knowledge. Types of sannyasa. There are two main types of sannyasa for a person who is already a jnani. So here, going back here, what is that readiness from what we have learned in second chapter? What is that readiness to take sannyasa?
Ragadvesha Virahita Samatva, that
Correct.
state-centeredness.
Correct. So one whose raga dveshas are neutralized and one who has the prasanna chitta.
That Ananda word is there, no? So he is happy all the time. It's Prasanna Chittam, it's contented also.
Yeah. So he has lived life as a karma yogi for a length of time, wherein his raga dveshas are neutralized. So the lived lifestyle of a karma yogi is to the main reason why one is a karma yogi is to, because if you look at the whole broad lifestyles, there are only two, according to what Krishna is saying here in the third verse. There are only two lifestyles. These are lifestyles committed for moksha. That is what he says in the beginning. He says,
And that means karma yoga for who is in the karma, means who is worldly in the worldly activities, and
yeah,
to knowledge is totally for who wants the no,
mhm,
moksha, and who has attained all these three stage, means they have surpassed the three stages, that is brahmacharya, gruhastha and vanaprastha, means sannyasa. And
yeah.
Sankhya, he said, no, Sankhya is the knowledge also, and Sankhya is the who is attaining that jnani also.
So basically, these two lifestyles are for the pursuit of moksha. Because earlier we learned that a karma yogi is a mumukshu. For him, moksha is the only goal. And for a sannyasi, no doubt, moksha is the only goal. But amongst the sannyasis, there are two different types. Now, three different types. We'll come to that. So the karma yogi is one who keeps moksha, who has moksha as the top priority and is pursuing, is doing whatever his role at that point of time is. He's fulfilling his roles and responsibilities. So the karma yogi could be a brahmachari, could be a grahastha, could be also going through the stage of vanaprastha. So in any of this, 1 minute. So sorry about that. The sannyasa, so once, and that readiness to take to sannyasa can happen from any stage, any ashrama. And that readiness is when one's mind is not only still, is pleasant, is where the raga dveshas are neutralized. There is no more rasa, no more longing. And it is vita raga bhaya krodha. So it is devoid of raga, bhaya, and krodha. And that is a mind that is not going through that negative spiral of dhyayato vishayan saha sangasteshu pajayati. So that kind of a mind that is stable, the mind of a sthita prajna. When the mind is thus ready, then that person is ready for sannyasa. So it is not just by someone who renounces everything and then leaves the world and goes away. So therefore, that is what is meant here by when one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day, one can take sannyasa. There is a Vedic sanction for it. The sannyas ashrama is a stage in life where one is absolved from performing all karma. One is freed from all duties in order to pursue knowledge. This pursuit is all that is to be done. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani or want nothing but knowledge. Types of sannyasa. There are two main types of sannyasa. For a person who's already a jnani, there is vidvat sannyasa, a sannyasa taken because of knowledge. The person has knowledge and therefore there is nothing more for him or her to do in the world. No obligations whatsoever. If the knowledge has been gained in any of the other three ashramas, brahmacharya ashrama, grahastha or vanaprastha, the person can take to the sannyasa ashrama directly, taking vidvat sannyasa, so that he or she is no longer obligated. Otherwise, for the person with knowledge, there will still be obligations because each of the first three ashramas implies certain duties on one's part, which cannot be left undone as long as one is in that ashrama. So, I'll just repeat this one more time. So, there are two main types of sannyasa. One is for a person who is already a jnani, there is vidvat sannyasa. A sannyasa taken because of knowledge. The person has knowledge, and therefore there is nothing more for him or her to do in the world. He is na karta na bhokta. No obligations whatsoever. If the knowledge has been gained in any of the other three ashramas, that is brahmacharya, grahastha, or vanaprastha ashrama, the person can take to the sannyas ashrama directly, taking vidvat sannyasa, so that he or she is no longer obligated. Otherwise, for the person with knowledge, there will still be obligations because each of the first three ashramas implies certain duties on one's part, which cannot be left undone as long as one is in that ashrama. Thus, the person takes sannyasa to be free of these obligations, to make it perfect, in other words. The other main type of sannyasa is called vividisha sannyasa and is meant for knowing. This sannyasa is for those who desire to know the self, Atma, as Brahman. The person knows exactly what is to be done. He or she has heard that this Atma is Brahman and wants to know it. Such a person is not interested in anything else and has a certain viveka, discrimination, with reference to the real and the unreal. He or she also has vairagya, dispassion, mumukshutvam, the desire for liberation, and other qualifications in various degrees. And with these qualifications, the person takes to the life of sannyasa called vividisha sannyasa. There is a
What is the footnote there in the previous page?
this was videt veditum icha is vividisha.
Okay, thank you.
So the one who takes to sannyasa because he has the desire to know. Vividisha sannyasa is meant for knowing. So he is a jnani in the making, whereas vidvat sannyasa is already a jnani. So, and there was also a thing for the vidvat sannyasa can take to sannyasa directly, taking vidvat sannyasa obligations because each of the first three ashramas implies certain duties on one's part, which cannot be left undone as long as one is in that ashrama. Thus, the person takes sannyasa to be free of these obligations. I'm just thinking of Swami Tejomayananda, the previous head of Chinmaya Mission. He handed over the head, the, the leadership to Swami Swarupananda, and he has taken that. Therefore, he was in the he was actually a sannyasi as it is, but even that obligation he has um, given up, taking that charge of in order to pursue sannyasa completely in the sense no more obligations, to make it perfect, in other words. The other main type of sannyasa is called vividisha sannyasa and is meant for knowing. This sannyasa is for those who desire to know the self, Atma, as Brahman. The person knows exactly what is to be done. He or she has heard that this Atma is Brahman and wants to know it. Such a person is not interested in anything else and has a certain viveka, discrimination, with reference to the real and the unreal. He or she also has vairagya, dispassion, mumukshutva, the desire for liberation, and other qualifications in various degrees. And with these qualifications, the person takes to the life of sannyasa called vividisha sannyasa. So he's still a jnani in the making. He has all the four pillars of knowledge. He has Viveka, Vairagya, and Shamadhi Shat Sampatti in various degrees. There is a third type of sannyasa called apat sannyasa. When a person thinks he or she is going to die and does not want to die a grahastha or a vanaprastha, but rather as a sannyasi, he takes apat sannyasa. Apat means danger. Because the sannyasa ashrama is always praised in the Shastra, it is natural for a person to want the results of this ashrama. It is as though the person has had a blank check all along and now wants to encash it. For one who has already lived the grahastha life and has been told that death is near, there seems to be no use in continuing the grahastha ashrama. A man who is not about to die will usually want to remain a grahastha because he is fond of his wife and children. But if he knows he's going to die fairly soon, he may go for apat sannyasa. At such a time, one does not require a guru, but can simply declare oneself to be a sannyasi with the sun, the elements, and all the gods as witness. One can make vows for which there is a particular mantra. And if one happens to survive, the vows taken can always be ratified later. This is how Shankara became a sannyasi. So, although there are two main types of sannyasas, one is Vividisha sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa, and Vividisha sannyasa. The third type is called Apat sannyasa. I'm just going to see what ratification means. So, ratified meaning is sign or give formal consent to contract or agreement, make it officially valid. So, usually, apat sannyasa is taken generally when a person is in danger, his life is in danger. He does not want to remain in the ashrama that he or she is. So, he takes to apat sannyasa. And you don't need any does not need at that time does not need a guru but can simply declare oneself as a sannyasi with
But
the
what
sun
can be the dangers? So he will go for sannyasa.
life no death while he's about to
Okay.
die, he's on the deathbed.
Mhm.
He's a grahastha or a vanaprasthi, but he does not want to die as one. So at that point he can take to sannyasa with the
Okay.
sun and the elements as witness.
Mhm.
He takes vows, and then supposing he survives, this can then become they can be ratified, that is it can be formalized, that is he's formally become a sannyasi. So that's what happens to Shankara, right? We'll read this. He tells his mother he wants to take to sannyasa, right? So he he says his leg is held by a crocodile, and unless he takes to sannyasa, unless his mother agrees, he will not be saved. So then that is he was in danger of life, and therefore he actually gives that particular the situation is such so that his mother kind of agrees to him taking sannyasa. Let's read as we go ahead. How Shankara became a sannyasi. Shankara wanted to become a sadhu at a very young age, but his mother was not at all agreeable. As the story of his life goes, he had the help of a crocodile that had caught hold of his leg while he was bathing in the river. Shankara's mother was waiting for him on the bank, and he called out to tell her what was happening. It may have been a ploy, or perhaps the crocodile was symbolic of samsara. We do not know. In any case, when his mother began crying, Shankara told her that if he took the vows of sannyasa, the crocodile would let go of him. Because there was danger to his life involved, this was apat sannyasa. Shankara then took the vows, and lo and behold, the crocodile released him. When he walked out of the river, his mother said, "Come on, let's go home." "What?" Shankara replied, "I'm a sannyasi now." When his mother told him the vows were only for the crocodile's sake, he said, "Not at all. I have made the vows and I am going." In this way, Shankara became a sannyasi. Later, he went to the Guru Govinda Bhagavat Pada, who lived on the banks of Narmada in the middle of India, and became his disciple. It was Govinda Pada who ratified Shankara's vows of sannyasa. Ratification is always possible whenever one has taken apat sannyasa and survives. Expecting some good end from the sannyasa ashrama, people have value for it. This expectation is based on the belief that a sannyasi does not take another birth. And if there is a birth, the hope is that one will at least get a better chance in the next life. This is a belief, and one has faith, shraddha in it. A person may be born into a family where he or she can start life as a sadhu, so that directly from the brahmacharya stage, he or she will become a sannyasi and not a grahastha. Thus, those who have become sannyasis this way may have been apat sannyasis in their previous life. I'll just read this one more time. So, the story of how Shankara became a sannyasi, he was an apat sannyasi. So that crocodile is symbolic. It could be symbolic of samsara. So when he cries out to his mother, unless you agree, unless I take to sannyasa, the crocodile is not going to let go of me. And then she agrees.
Dee,
So
when you say symbolic of samsara, what does it mean?
it is like it indicates samsara. It's not literal. It is the implied meaning of the crocodile. One is that there was a crocodile actually, but the implied meaning, that's the literal meaning, crocodile, physical crocodile. But
Means
the
we are
implied,
bound by the grahastha or vanaprastha, and we are not able to live the sansara like that for the sannyasa or the higher purpose. I think
correct. And Shankara wanted to become a sannyasi from his very young age, but mother did not agree. So we don't know whether it was a ploy or how that situation came about. But finally, his life was in danger. And therefore, his mother had to say yes. When he says, um, he called out to her saying his leg was held by a crocodile, and that if he took the vow of sannyasa, the crocodile would let go of him. So, which was ratified again. Ratified means it is made into a formal contract, formal agreement, as in it was formalized. His sannyasa was formalized later when he goes and meets his guru, Govinda Bhagavat Pada. So, expecting some good end from sannyas ashrama, people have value for it. This expectation is based on the belief that a sannyasi does not take another birth. Because if the person is a vidvat sannyasi, he does not have another birth. He is freed from the cycle of birth and death. And if there is a birth, the hope is that one will at least get a better chance in the next life. That is why people take to sannyasa. One of the other reasons is because their pursuit, they know they have that viveka and dispassion with respect to the world. They are not no longer caught up in the tentacles of the samsara, but they're yet to pursue knowledge. Yet that knowledge is still not become, they're not jnana nishtas. So they take to sannyasa with the hope that, number one, that belief that they don't have another rebirth. Second is, even if they have not attained moksha, at least they will get a better birth to continue the pursuit. So a person may be born into a family where he or she can start life as a sadhu, so that directly from the brahmacharya stage, he or she will become a sannyasi and not a grahastha. Thus, those who have become sannyasis this way may have been apat sannyasis in their previous life. The last ritual of a sannyasi. Arjuna's heart was not in apat sannyasa. He was not dying, but he did not want to know, but he did want to know. Therefore, he wanted to take vividisha sannyasa. In sannyasa, one gives up all karmas for which there is a special ritual. The last fire ritual that a sannyasi performs. You may see a sannyasi doing a puja, but you will never see a sannyasi sitting
Excuse me,
around a
sir,
fire.
Jay. I wanted to know how the sannyasi will born to some other means family where he can start directly as a take a sannyasa or that lifestyle. Can you read that again? Who one takes the birth like that? That upper the sannyasi or some other?
Apat sannyasi. Expecting some good end from the sannyasa ashrama, people have value for it. This expectation is based on the belief that a sannyasi does not take another birth. And if there is a birth, the hope is that one will at least get a better chance in the next life. This is a belief and one has faith, shraddha in it. A person may be born into a family where he or she can start life as a sadhu, so that directly from the brahmacharya stage, he or she will become a sannyasi and not a grahastha. Thus, those who have become sannyasis this way may have been apat sannyasis in their previous life. So that is why that apat sannyasa is also there. Even on the deathbed, one can take to sannyasa. Why? Because the the belief and the faith is that they will be born into a family which is conducive for their further progress. So from the brahmacharya ashrama itself, they may take to sannyasa. See, if you look at all our present sannyasis in the art of living, most of them have just from brahmacharya, they've taken to sannyasa. I think all of them. I don't know if there's anyone who's gone through a grahastha and then become a sannyasi.
It's the Prabhupada of ISKCON, I think. He was a Grasta, I think. Prabhupada
That
of ISKCON.
I don't know.
Because he took to, after the age of, I think, in 50s, he got into the spiritual path, like.
Mm.
But yes, I do not know whether he had a family or he was alone, like single. But his journey started when he was in 50s. Even
Yeah.
I think the Swamijis which are taking to the, like, what do they say? You, like in the ashram, they come. Some must be having families, I think. No,
No, but
I
as far
don't
as
know.
I know, I don't know about all of them, honestly. But those that I know have not been married. They've not gone to the Grahastha ashrama. They were all from Brahmacharya, they've taken to sannyasa.
Yes,
They've initiated into sannyasa ashram.
that was because of their past life, like
Could
what?
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is why. So that is the assumption is that most of these people who have skipped the Grahastha and Vanaprastha and from Brahmacharya have taken directly to sannyasa, may have may have been apat sannyasis in their previous life. I was told even S.P. Balasubramaniam, the famous singer, South Indian singer, he took to sannyasa before he passed away. He died of COVID complications, but uh, what I got to know, what I heard was that he had taken to the sannyas ashram. So there are people who just take, because see, that is glorified, that ashrama is glorified in the sense there is a value for it. That is why people revere sannyasis. Because see, no, it's not anybody who can take to the sannyas ashrama. The actual meaning of sannyasa is when, to the exclusion of all else, you pursue knowledge. That is the vividisha sannyasi. Whereas for even a person who is the vividisha sannyasa, the natural progress for him will be to become a vidvat sannyasi. So either which ways, that is an ashrama that is held in high esteem in the society. Because it takes courage, it takes nerve and determination, and mainly a sense of dispassion to take to that ashrama. For one to be a true sannyasi, not someone who's just adorned orange robes, orca robes. So the last ritual of a sannyasi is a fire ceremony wherein it's a special last fire ritual that a sannyasi performs. You may see a sannyasi doing a puja, but you will never see a sannyasi sitting around a fire performing a Vedic ritual. Such a person has been freed of all obligatory fire rituals, of all karmas, in fact. A sannyasi's last fire ritual is one in which all karmas are given up. In this ritual, the sannyasi bids goodbye to all the ancestors to whom there has been an obligation: father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, great grandfather, great grandmother, then rishis and devas. The person taking sannyasa says that self knowledge will be pursued to the exclusion of all else, asks for the blessings of the paternal and maternal ancestors, and takes a vow of abhaya, a vow not to harm any living being, including trees and plants. The sannyasi also vows to be a non competitor in this world and all others, thereby becoming a person who does not compete for the sake of status, politically, economically, or socially. Knowledge is the only interest for the sannyasi. Having taken these vows, the sannyasi takes a few symbolic steps towards the north, the direction that stands for moksha. South stands for death. Thus, Lord Death, Lord Yama, is a southerner. This symbolism may be based on the polar attraction in the north. Death never attracts you, whereas freedom from death does. Moving towards the north in search of moksha, having discarded all clothing, the sannyasi is called back by the guru, given a set of simple clothing, and asked to serve and continue studying with the guru. This then is the ritual of sannyasa, be it either Vidvat sannyasa or Vividisha sannyasa. Both are mentioned by Shankara in his commentary. In Vidvat sannyasa, one may or may not take sannyasa formally. The main aim is that by knowledge, one gives up all karmas. The knowledge is that I am a non-doer. I perform no action. This is what is called Naishkarmya, the state of actionlessness. I perform no action at any time because Atma, which is I, does not perform any action. Nor does Atma cause anyone to perform action. I am not a doer in spite of all the actions I do. This knowledge is real sannyasa as described Jnana Karma Sannyasa. For the sake of this Jnana Karma Sannyasa, one takes to the lifestyle of sannyasa, pursuing self-knowledge. The other Nishtha, Karma Yoga, is for all those seekers in the other ashramas. So we'll take purpose of Karma Yoga tomorrow. This is page 401.
Can you just summarize the Vivid sannyasi don't need that process to do to take a sannyasa, and the Vividisha sannyasi needs that process. Means what south and north is told, no, that pitru and all. Can you little bit summarize it?
Yeah, so that is the ritual, sannyasa, the last ritual that a sannyasi takes or does before he takes to sannyasa, is the guru gets him to do the last fire ritual, wherein after that he is not obligated to do anything. So he remembers all his ancestors, because normally of the karmas,
That
what are the
Vividisha sannyasi, no?
that is
Oh,
Vividisha sannyas. Yeah.
huh.
Either Vividisha or Vidvat, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So this then is the ritual, be it either Vidvat sannyasi or Vividisha. So both of them, they go through this last fire ritual. Although for a Vidvat sannyasa, it is not mandatory. He may not do it. See, in Vidvat sannyasa, one may or may not take sannyasa formally. He does not need, he is already knowledge for the Vidvat sannyasa. He may not go through this ritual. Whereas for the Vividisha sannyasa, the ritual is that you remember all your ancestors. So the different karmas are Nitya karma, Naimittika karma. So this Naimittika karma is also renounced. Doing those the Pitru karma, Shraddha karma for all your ancestors. So he remembers all of them, takes their blessings and gives up even that. So he's freeing himself one layer by layer, all the karmas that are obligatory. See, all this again is obligatory karma, which is enjoined by the Shastra, which is ordained by the Shastra. So all that he's given up. Then he goes symbolically, he moves a few steps to the north, which is indicative of moksha, freedom from death. And then, because the south is the direction of death, nobody aspires death. Everybody aspires freedom from death. So he takes a few steps to the north and he does this removing his clothes. He walks because that is the sign of total dispassion, where even that bodily um, identification, that body image, even that is dropped. And then he walks back to the Guru, who then gives him a set of simple clothes. And then he goes on with his life of pursuing self knowledge. So the Vidvat Sannyasa may not do this ritual because he's already a non doer.
And that knowledge part he knows.
Yes. And he's in a state of Naishkarma, actionlessness. Like, see, Ramana Maharshi, he was I don't know, I don't know his life story completely, but I don't think he's taken to formal sannyasa. He was wearing simple clothes, just a loin cloth, that's it. He did not have any other clothing on him. So for the sake of, for the sake of this Jnana Karma Sannyasa, one takes the lifestyle of sannyasa. The other Nishtha, Karma Yoga, is for all those who, all the seekers who are in the other ashramas, like all of us, grihastas. So we'll see the purpose of Karma Yoga tomorrow. Yeah. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev. Allow the Maniko.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene, and with a serene smile on your face, relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here. Lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.